Todd, welcome back. This is a new look.
Hi, Jack. How are you?
Fantastic. What is
Why are you laughing?
Surprise when you show up.
This is the thing, right? I'm the CEO of a company called Red Light Holland, as you know, and we're in the magic truffle business. And we sell psilocybin. We provide people access in legal frameworks. We do it, in my opinion, the best as a publicly traded company. And I don't go on the chat forums. I don't do that. I don't, CEOs, we're busy running businesses. All right. We have to go. We have to go hard. But I do have friends that from time to time will send me screenshots. And apparently the last time I was on here, people said, oh, I didn't look professional, or my eyes look a little bloodshot. Was I high on cocaine? People apparently were saying. And I thought to myself, well, clearly people have never ran a business in multiple time zones with staff that's increasing, with business that's increasing, with very lack of sleep, and where really a look doesn't matter because it's about delivering. It's about being the mailman. It's about getting that package into the box that matters. But, once in a while, and my wife, quite frankly, loves when I clean up. She loves, I think I'm a pretty handsome guy, actually. And it's okay if I dress down because that's what I'm comfortable in. But I wanted to show people that it's not about perception. Don't judge a book by its cover. Judge a person by or a company by what they actually do, because they say one thing and then deliver on another. They have a concept and they make it reality. And us at Red Light Holland, despite this really handsome look that I have going on today, are continually delivering on our announcements and increasing, in our opinion, shareholder value. So thank you for having me back.
This leads right into what I was getting. I mean, since the last time you were in the company, look, there's been essentially, things, all investors, especially in the penny stock world, the micro cap world, they want things immediately. They want the stock, as soon as they buy it, they want that stock to triple the next afternoon. And so things sometimes take longer than but the company's actually been executing. There's been a lot of things which, I don't know if the market, maybe it kind of went like over people's heads. You closed the deal with, was it the SR Wholesale? You're starting to, you've imported the microdose packs into Brazil. Now you got the Health Canada approval. So there's a lot of things happening. You got the magic truck, the thing that you're launching with Kerry Marshall. I want to kind of go into that because I think, when was the last time you were on? This must have been almost a month ago by now.
I was on about 3 weeks ago and I was very excited that day, is the truth. My emotions were definitely showing. I've always worn my emotions on my sleeve. And to be honest, I think those are the types of people you can trust the most in this world, because the ones that are direct, they're not good at like doing this. Oh, well, I can't tell you a thing. No. And I was excited at that point because we had received approval from Anvisa to get a microdose packs into Brazil. And since then, there's been a slew of announcements, and we're just so proud of this entire team for what we're doing and how we continually deliver. Again, we now have products, our iMicrodose packs, and for those who are new, we grow, we package, and we distribute magic truffles, and we do it in the Netherlands in a legal framework. And we've now gotten product into Brazil. We also got approval through a psilocybin import permit from Health Canada through a company called Seacrest Laboratories and Shaman Pharma. And we have product in Canada now. We're just showing that there is an opportunity through international borders here legally to do things the right way, to hopefully show the market that Red Light Holland is a very serious player of looking at ways on how do we expand the markets. So if you were to put little pins in a map, if that's what you were to do, you would go, my goodness, well, Red Light Holland wasn't, just in the Netherlands now. They're in Brazil. They're in Canada. We could start pinning. And now this SR Wholesale deal. Well, this is big business. I mean, this is a really big accomplishment for the team. We've been in negotiations for like 4 months. It's not easy.
Everybody was expecting that deal to close, as soon as you announce it. You announce it, they want the thing.
My eyes today. Do they look red today? Did I get some good night's sleep?
Everybody wants things to happen like immediately, right? So SR Wholesale, I think by now people have forgotten, like the St. Vincent's, you're getting this licenses, and this is taking forever, right? Everything is taking forever, which is the way things are. This is the way the normal pace of things in the markets. So SR Wholesale, Give it what is that deal all about?
Yeah, it's a very big deal. The founder of the company, an individual named Shai Ramshahai, is just a really young, great entrepreneur who, over the last 4 or 5 years, has grown a massive distribution company beyond just psychedelics and magic truffles. He has things such as CBD products and cannabis seeds, and it's like a really big business. Almost 3 million in revs, almost 1 million in gross profit, and the idea of it, though, that's so important for us, not only what we feel being the complete leader in psychedelic distribution in the entire planet. I mean, try to find me a company that's publicly traded right now in the world that distributes as much psilocybin as we do. I don't think you'll find one. So we're a leader. We're a market leader. Find me a company that's getting a consumer goods product that we produce and distribute and sell into other countries. You're not going to find one. I mean, we're just doing that and nobody else is doing that. And then you look at this wholesale company about distribution. How do we grow a Red Light Holland brand? Well, what's the fastest way to do that? Well, you acquire a business that's in amazing revenues, that has the infrastructure in place, that has the clients, that has contact lists, and now we can grow the Red Light Holland brand with other product offerings is the goal here. And how do we increase sales? How do we become the leader in psychedelics when it comes to revenues? This is our ultimate goal. And we're doing that in all different angles, not just in the Netherlands now. And honestly, the last year, we haven't even been public for a year, but I started raising money just over a year ago. This has been unreal. And if anyone were to ask me a year ago, would Todd Shapiro and Red Light Holland be trailblazers and do things that nobody else has done and have the most amount of sales when it comes to distributing psychedelics on the planet? Because I don't know if anyone has more in terms of a legal product. I just think we're doing it in sort of this amazing strategic way. I'm so proud of the team. I'm proud of myself, quite frankly. I look good today. So, so I dressed up. I got to open up some bubbly maybe later. And it's just an amazing time. And I could tell you very carefully, we're working on the next stages. I do not stop. We're trying to figure out very carefully some other deals, obviously, through due diligence, through meetings. I'm still in St. Vincent. I know what it seems like, but I'm telling you, I have more meetings tomorrow. The meetings just keep going. And we're just really proud. We're really proud. And we're really grateful for all the shareholders and all the supporters.
Okay. So we got a comment here from JC saying SR Wholesale is a giant. He's from the Netherlands and he knows the company. So this guy knows. Okay, so
it's a giant. I mean, it's a giant, and they're not only just in the Netherlands. I mean, they have distribution into so many different countries into Europe, France, Germany, UK, you name it. So one day, if things start to open up, and we're starting to see things open up, and when I say things, different legalities when it comes to decriminalization and legalization of certain products, not just cannabis, but maybe even psilocybin. We're seeing big pushes. I mean, Chelsea Handler, famous comedian, famous talk show host, today talked about how magic mushrooms should be legal, that she uses magic mushrooms, and quite frankly, everyone should be. This is her quote. This is not going away, in our opinion.
Yeah,
and by the way,
that lamp, right? You're going to send her the wisdom truffle lamp now.
Oh, we're going to get Chelsea Handler wisdom truffle lamp for sure. I mean, we'll see what she does with it because she's quite a fun person. But we are definitely going. This is the goal, right? We're growing an amazing brand. We have the support really all over the world, which is amazing. We just actually are about to announce seven give you a job contestants. 7. There's so many good applicants and so many good entries that we're going to do little pieces with 7 of them. They don't even know that. It was supposed to only be 4. We're going to do 7. That's the type of support.
And sir, can you hear me okay? Oh, can you hear me now? Sorry, my mic is really bad. Can you hear me now? Can you still hear me?
No.
Give me 1 second. My mic just conked out of nowhere. I'm not quite sure why.
And why are we? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's low, but it's good.
Okay. Sorry about that. My mic conked out. That was very weird.
Okay, this is better. I like you without the mic, actually. I know you got the
good. Yeah, I like the mic. So anyway, it conked out. It just started doing crazy stuff in my ears.
So what's interesting? So SR, they're doing. I mean, this is a company that's actually generating revenue. They got cash flow. Give us the numbers. What kind of numbers are these guys generating?
Yeah, like I said, they're close to 3 million in revenues. They dealing with 1,400 stores that they distribute product from 400 different companies in, with many different brands. I think the greatest thing for us and the most exciting thing again is about growing the Red Light Holland brand. We are growing right now 1 million grams of truffles. So how do you want to do your very best to make sure you distribute 1 million grams of truffles? Well, you buy a wholesale company, and you have that wholesale company who has the connections with all the stores across the Netherlands to be able to try to get product into. So could Red Light Holland now carefully come up with other products, not just their iMicrodose product? Again, our iMicrodose product is a Galindoy truffle. We're growing Tampanensis and Mexicana. So that right there lends you to think that there's opportunity to make other products. I'll be careful how I say this, but obviously I think it's okay it's not material information for a company to say that they're working in terms of other product growth here. And now we have the distribution company to hopefully get it into these stores. We want to make iMicrodose and Red Light Holland the biggest brand in psilocybin in the entire planet. And we want to do it in the areas where we can. And of course, we want to do it outside of the areas where we can by always creating that iMicrodose lifestyle through things like the Wisdom Truffle, through the merchandise that's selling. And by the way, the new logo and the new merchandise is coming very soon. And this is just an amazing growth opportunity. It's in a growth industry. And we quite frankly think we're the leaders in it. And I think most importantly, Jack, we're seeing a lot of arguments go back and forth right now, and FinTwit and really all over the place. There's companies right now that are really focusing on their patents of psilocybin. And we don't want to limit the access. We feel like other companies are trying to limit access and take control. And quite frankly, you can never take control of the natural occurring product. That just can't be done. At least my lawyers tell me that. So what we're going to do is brand it the best, wait for these legalization and decriminalization movements happen, and make sure, like we're doing, getting product in Brazil, getting product into Canada, just through the labs right now and through patient access, but doing it in ways that we can cross international borders and watch this growth industry grow. And in the meantime, we'll kick ass doing it in the areas we can.
Okay, so I want to getting back to the SR Wholesale, this acquisition, right? What do you see? So I mean, there's a lot of ways you can leverage their distribution channels. I mean, that's very, very valuable what they have. I mean,
it's an amazing business. I mean, listen, it's a big staff, it's a big warehouse. If the idea is, it doesn't only have to be our products. Of course, we want to grow our products. Like I said, we have 1 million grams growing. So now I want to package those and get those in the stores. I have better margins in carrying other people's products. It's not to say we won't carry the other people's products, but I want to sell my products first because now we're vertically integrated. Of course, we'll carry other products. Is there an opportunity to white label products? The connections that we have through SR Wholesale in terms of anything that is produced and sold in head shops, smart shops, seed shops, you name it, we have access to now. And also what I love about it is the fact that people are looking at us as the go-to. They're coming to us. We're well capitalized. We still have over $30 million in the bank. And we're growing a business that's in revenues. And find me a psychedelic company right now that is in revenues like us.
Yeah, so essentially, kind of one of the other benefits is with this distribution channel, other companies, you have more other M&A opportunities open up now.
There's lots of M&A opportunities that are opening up. Every day I feel like I'm on Shark Tank and getting pitched opportunities for us to acquire them. Because what happens when one company has cash and another doesn't? They want your cash. They want you to help grow them their business. We're getting so many different opportunities. I think people are going to be really pleased on what we're working on. And I'll be careful because nothing's material yet. It's a lot of potential, but I'm not just sitting here not trying to grow a business. I want to be revenue focused. I want to start the biggest brand, which we've already done across the world in psilocybin. We want to continually grow it with the influencers we have, with the support we have, with the Red Light Army, who I love so much. And I feel like I should take off this tie for because they're not used to seeing me like this. They want to see me a little more casual. They want to see me have some fun with them. And they want to see me provide access now, while other companies and their big science projects that are going to cost them hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to try and limit access, we're going to just keep providing access. And we're going to do it now because we can't make medical claims. What we can tell you, there's a mental health crisis going on and people want their access. And I want to read what they say. I microdose because. Why do you microdose? Why do you use psilocybin? Is it helping you? Is it helping your 22-year-old son who's in college, who's struggling right now because COVID has really effed things up for people? We want to learn from the people. We're the people's company. We'll continue continue to be the people's company. And now we're in big revenues and we're going to show this continued growth. And I'm so proud of everybody, what we're doing. And you and your science projects and limiting access, I'll tell you what, have some fun with that, because very few of you are going to succeed. And don't get me wrong, if there's people who want synthetic forms of psilocybin to maybe help them one day, I applaud them too. But I think there's a far bigger market and a far bigger growth market in terms of the natural access that's been given to us for thousands of years.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I think the takeaway is that, if an investor, I think from the market perspective, if somebody wants to be invested in the psychedelic space, TRIP, essentially, you're in the market right now. You have revenues, you have cash to make other acquisitions to really kind of dominate the market. You're developing a brand. So from the consumer aspects, it's kind of like all these things, all the pieces are kind of coming together little by little. You're doing what is this? We didn't even talk about this. Part of what's interesting that you're doing it to develop this brand, kind of like you're taking that the Red Bull approach to energy drinks. You're going to be like the Red Bull of psilocybin. You're doing things like what you're getting these.
Exactly. Like, look, here's another example. Sorry to interrupt you. So this is a VR headset, okay?
Yep.
You can go and get these VR headsets. They're really cool. Lots of cool, fun stuff you can do on these, like really fun stuff. What have we done? Through Radix Motion, we've created a virtual reality experience. That virtual reality experience is now available on the Steam store. It's $4.99. It's just another revenue stream. $4.99.
This is the thing with Russell Peters, right?
Yeah, Russell Peters narrated this. Radix Motion developed it. It is an incredible experience learning about psilocybin, learning about truffles, learning about responsible use, doing this body movement data. It's sort of like a game, but it's an educational experience. We've had top write-ups from VR experts across the world who've been putting them on in VR magazines. You hear of this whole NFT craze. The VR world's taken off too. And by the way, the NFT, it's funny about the NFT stuff. That's an idea I literally had as an artist before I became the capital market CEO. I've always thought about protecting people's IP through the internet and how you can do that. And it was an idea I had like 7 years ago that I actually pitched to people. I have an old deck and it's so funny. They got these non-fungible tokens. Well, I'd like to think that we're going to try to think of something like a non-fungi token here. Okay, let's get into something into the mushroom space, protect that kind of creative IP. And who knows, maybe there's an NFT with some of Karim Rashid's art and the wisdom truffle. We're always trying to think outside of the box. That's what our company does so well, and drive shareholder value by revenues, not just by these science projects that, quite frankly, good luck to all of you.
I think that's a very important point. I mean, I think you really need to emphasize this. Again, in the psychedelic space, TRIP, Red Light Holland is really focused on generating revenues. I mean, would you agree? I mean, is this the main focus? I mean,
so we have a membership program. We have telecounseling now. So if you're microdosing, you can join a membership program, and then you can actually reach out. It's a fee, but you can reach out to a telecounselor, a certified therapist in the Netherlands, in these legal frameworks. Because at the end of the day, we're creating a company that is sustainable, that is fair, that is, trying to create really good value, but also growing a business without just being sort of this capitalistic, greedy pig. We want to give back to those who support us. A community that will support Red Light Holland at times, believe it or not, especially in the psychedelic sector. Of course, everybody wants a return on their investment, but we're getting the type of investors, and I'm seeing the personal notes coming in going, I don't even really care if I make money right now. I'm supporting a movement. And the way you're doing it by giving back, by promoting a message, which a lot of people, quite frankly, don't have the balls to do because they're scared, because it's psilocybin. We've created this movement, and we have supporters that want, of course, they're going to want a return on it, but they know that it's a growth industry. And where will we be 5 years from now? Of course, that's the big question. It's still speculative, but we are so confident in delivering now. Alternative revenue streams. The wisdom truffle will be available by the end of the year. And there'll be good margins in that. This membership program, selling iMicrodose packs now online in smart shops. The idea that you could go buy a Steam development for $5. You sell 100,000 of those, and there's a big community of support for the virtual reality world. I'm not saying we've sold that many yet, but if people catch on, it goes viral. There's alternative revenue streams. And now this distribution company with major revenues behind it and thousands of products and thousands of stores to deliver to. This is really big. We're a leader in psychedelics distribution. We're a leader in production, and we're a leader in thinking outside of the box. And quite frankly, I think nobody is doing it quite like us.
Okay, let's go to some audience questions. Originally, Giuseppe's asking, with SR Wholesale acquisition, does Trip own the Mr. Maca brand?
We do. It's a great question. So we do own the Mr. Maca brand. That was part of the acquisition. That's why negotiations take a while. You know, they have something they want to work with that is already in different smart shops within the Netherlands. So yeah, we got the Mr. Maca brand. We are going to work with it a little bit.
What is Mr. Maca?
Mr. Maca is a brand that sells magic truffles. They sell CBD products. They sell, quite frankly, even kratom. Everyone says it differently. There's lots of different products now that, you know, maybe we can figure out how to develop into the Red Light brand or powered by Red Light. I'm growing this Red Light brand. Okay, that's the deal. Like, my mission is to make this massive. I won't stop doing it. Can I guarantee all the sales for it? No. Can I guarantee you that I'm going to develop it and make it in everybody's face? Yes. And we're going to do it responsibly through education, information, with a really cool community and a great vibe. That's exactly what we're planning on doing. And we love that everybody's supporting it, and continue to reach out and figure out ways on how you can support us, like getting a job, like you know, doing the social media great support that we're getting. We really love you all. And we're again, I keep using the word grateful, but that's quite candidly where we're at.
Sterling's asking, when will the physical wisdom truffle be available? This is the Kareem Rashid wisdom truffle piece.
Yes. So we've said that would be expected by the end of this year. Now, there's a lot of hardware that's going into this. I mean, we're developing things. If you go to wisdomtruffle.com, we're basically a tech company. And why are we a tech company? Well, imagine this. Imagine you're traveling and you're away from your children, and you have a little app on your phone that you can put to the wisdom truffle that illuminates light, while on the other end, across the world, your wife or your husband is putting the same phone to your child's chest. And now that light is beating to your child's chest because you want to feel connected, because this whole entire mission of ours is about connecting. And if we can't sell you magic truffles, which we feel, and anecdotally I can tell you, does connect you to things, well, this is what we're going to develop in tech. And that's what we're doing, these types of tech advances. And it's amazing. So it takes some time. I mean, you got to work with factories. We have a whole tech team developing it. And if you go to wisdomtruffle.com, you can see the three different types: the little guy, the medium one, and then the much larger one, which is the baller edition. It's awesome.
Baller edition. All right. We got a question again. What's happening with the lobbying? What, for anybody that bring us up to speed, what's going on with the lobbying story?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I had meetings this week. I guess I'm allowed saying this. We're continually advancing with Wellington DuPont. Now, there's a critical path to get to the government. You don't just everything takes time. You can't just like put up your hand and go, hey, Health Minister of Canada, here we are. You've allowed people magic mushrooms because you've said that those who are end of care and terminally ill can use them. And we applaud your decision because, of course, people are suffering from anxiety, sadly, as they're about to, you know, really, really sadly, you know, at their end of life here. You've given them that access. And you've also said those with severe trauma can have that access, much like you did years and years ago with cannabis. And we all know where cannabis now is in Canada. So can we talk to you right now and give you our magic truffles, because we're growing them legally. And we've already shown you that we could get them across borders legally with an import psilocybin license that was permitted by Health Canada to us. So how can we maybe get to you to say, can we provide those that you're giving access to? Well, it takes time to that critical path gets there. But I think you see the way my brain's working on how potentially could we get it there.
Okay. I guess the question is, what's happening with the Mira Life Sciences?
So this is like literally I'll be very honest here. It's a frustrating process. I mean, it's still a very ongoing process. There is like zero red flags, in my opinion, from what we've announced months ago. It just takes time. There's so many intricacies that you can't tell the market as they're happening. I could tell you some of the ones that happened now about SR Wholesale, why it took so long to close SR Wholesale, if anyone wants to ask me why that took a long time. So the idea is we're still feeling very confident about it. I'm still in St. Vincent. I can assure you that I'm working very hard. I think you can look at our announcements to know that. And I have even more meetings tomorrow. I think that's a good way of putting it. Okay.
So listen, I guess the takeaway is Todd, this is, Trip is not unique. With every company, any type of things always take a lot longer than people expect, and I think that's kind of, one of the one of the things that you have to look at it, as an investor. Things are going to take, occasionally things will happen immediately, but usually takes much longer. That's the point. When everybody gives up, that's when the deal closes.
The most beautiful thing, Jack, the most beautiful thing about what's happened here is we've gotten such amazing support, and the support that you get into a stock, into a company that's building in a growth industry, it allows you to go and raise the capital. So without volume and without people supporting a stock, you probably wouldn't have the access to capital that we have. We're still sitting at over $30 million. I should say unaudited, but I'm pretty confident, even with the acquisition of SR Wholesale, that we're still over $30 million. I'm saying that very confidently. And if not, it's like $1 under. And it's going well because of the support, but then the business just takes a bit of time. And I'm all in it to grow a business. I'm all in it to show the world that as we have these progressive movements, as more people like Chelsea Handler are basically coming out there and saying, we need magic mushrooms to help people because they help me. And that's what she said. And I'll tell you, they help me. You're going to watch a company that through education, through responsible use, and through this really informative way of carefully building a business will continue to build it. And that's what we're doing. I just can't go and get something done overnight, because if I did, it probably wouldn't be real and it wouldn't have value for you.
No, it's definitely, you're starting to see, the psychedelics really get into the mainstream. We got a comment here from Marcel saying he saw something. Was it a show on Netflix where a patient was taking PTSD, was taking psychedelics, and this is the only thing that helped. So this idea is basically, he's making a point that the conversation about psychedelics is going mainstream. This is not like, this is like, a couple of years ago, this would have been like, far out, like no pun intended, but it's really going mainstream. I think this is, timing is everything. Like we had the, previous guest, he was talking about, the NFTs. Now we got the psychedelics. It's really this thing. And when it goes mainstream, this is going to be, TRUFF is going to be one of the few pure plays that are revenue generating in the space for investors.
There's very few that are revenue generating right now. Again, there's lots of people who need a lot of money because they're burning through a lot of money. Go look at our prospectus at CEDAR and go look at our burn rate. Go look how responsible we're being. We're very proud. And Jack, I will just work to be able to develop this. And we're going to see so much. You mentioned the PTSD and these are the empathy. This is the stuff that's hard to show as a company that we're really trying to be. I mean, listen, we just brought on Glenn Cowan as an advisor to our team. He's a former Special Forces veteran, a beautiful soul, seen and done things that nobody in their life should ever see it do. And we just respect and appreciate so much what he's gone through and what people he know have gone through, men and women who quite frankly would do stuff that we're not brave enough. Jack, we're not brave enough to do this stuff. And why did he come on board? Well, listen, he's talked about anecdotally how he uses magic mushrooms. He's very connected. He's even connected to companies like the UFC. I mean, he's a big investor in another company that did a big deal with the UFC. So there's just so much great people. The management team is Bruce Linton alone. And again, I'm still talking to Bruce 3, 4, 5 hours a week. It's not like these conversations go away with Bruce. He is entirely 2 feet deep into this company and wants to be able to see it grow like his past companies. I think Canopy Growth at one point, was probably a stock like ours, at least 70, 80 cents.
They all went through the same phase, the same type of growth. I mean, the same growth, the stages, where everything's taking longer, then finally and then all of a sudden you have this explosion.
But and don't get me wrong, you can never price project, and I can never say I'm going to be the next Canopy Growth and get to where they got to. You can never do that. That does not go along with our corporate governance. We're a very responsible company. But what I can tell you is you have a guy like Bruce in who I don't think's about what's the day's trade, what's the week's trade, what's even the quarterly report. I think Bruce's mind, much like he was with Canopy, in 2013 or something, whenever they merged from Bettercan and Tweed to grow the powerhouse that they did, where is it in now? And where was it in 2019 and 2020? Think about long-term. I love the alignment with the long-term investors. We're grateful for all investors, but the alignment with the long-term ones who really believe in this vision, thank you for that, because it takes time to get the vision accomplished. But without you, we couldn't get the vision accomplished because we wouldn't have those access to capitals. It's a huge team effort. And this Red Light Holland team, quite frankly, is kicking ass and will continue to kick ass with our management team and with everyone who supports us.
Okay, Todd, let's wrap up. Two things I want to ask. It's what other kind of, one is, what else is in terms of news flow? What else can we expect next couple of weeks from TRUFF?
I'll be careful of what I project down the road. I'm still here in St. Vincent. There's still meetings going on. And I'm working really, really hard on some, I think, really neat things. My focus, of course, is revenue generating. And also think of our company as sort of like, how are we a tech company? Because there's a bit of tech to us and there's a lot of value to tech. So with tech, you could grow all different ways as well. So of course, it's about providing access now. And of course, it's about getting you magic truffles or getting you one day, maybe even magic mushrooms, and figuring out different ways on how you can do that with technology. We don't want to do what these other big science companies are doing, which is limit your access. I'm saying they can have their access too, if that's how people want it, through synthetic forms. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone should limit anybody. And our company is all about providing that access and growing revenue streams, growing a database, and growing a support system to be able to be the biggest brand in the world that provides you with psilocybin. And that's our mission. And we're not stopping until we get you that.
Okay, Todd, last question here. It's usually a favorite here. In your opinion right now, what would you say the top 3 reasons why investors should want to consider Red Light Holland stock today?
Yeah, again, I can't give price projections, and it's a speculative industry, and always do your due diligence, speak to financial advisors and stuff. And feel free to call our IR team, which is really me and Daniel, who helps out. Because we want to have that tight burn rate, not just spend $15,000 a month. I would say look at our burn rate's a great one. Look at the fact that we're in revenues. Look at the fact that we're severely in revenues now with this acquisition of SR Wholesale. Look at the fact that we deliver on the things we talk about. We said that we were going to go to market with an iMicrodose product, and we did that. We did that on time. We said we were going to get a wisdom truffle designed by Karen Rashid, the top designer in the Americas, by Time Magazine. We're getting that done. We said we're going to create a virtual reality experience that now you can buy in a Steam store for alternative revenue streams, and it's done. We said that we're going to get great action from a guy like Russell Peters, who mentions us on Joe Rogan. That was done. We said that we have merch and it's cool, but some people didn't like that design. So let's work with people to get a new design, which was controversial in itself, but we got it done. And we got it done, and the merch is going to be amazing. So I don't know, find me a psychedelic company right now that could say they're the leader in distribution of psychedelics in literally the millions of grams and the millions of dollars because of SR Wholesale's book that we disclosed in terms of it being close to 3 million in rev. Just find me these companies. And again, find me another companies doing all this with still 30 million in the bank. So we're really pleased with progress. And I think that there's a million things I could tell you, but I'm careful on how I talk here. And I'm just excited for future growth.
Todd, thank you again. We'll look forward to having you back. I'm looking for the next outfit, surprise.
Do you like it? Should I this or t-shirts? What do you think?
You gotta get the tie back. You gotta get the tie.
Okay, I'll get the tie back. Thank you, Jack. We appreciate your time. We really do, and we appreciate everybody's support. Feel free to get in touch with us at any point.
Thank you again, Todd. We'll see you soon.